Hello and welcome everybody to the FRC Daytona 500. I am your host, Who's Easy. This is the Season 13 Champions Divisional Daytona 500. Looks like we got a pretty good field here today. 19 cars on track. Get our stuff set up here. There we go. I did not pay attention to qualifying whatsoever, so it looks like Cameron is on pole. Shadow Alpha second place there. So Clutch Fan is on the inside in the 56 Toyota. We got Toaster Lord on the outside. Blue Streak in that 98 Ford on his outside. We got NC Boy for life. Solar Cosmos back there on the inside. I can't really check who is where. We'll get a better camera so you guys can see it. Actually, that's a terrible camera. What the heck? Alright, Solar Cosmos 27 Chevrolet. On his outside, we got the 12 car EVR Rewar, last season champion, looking for a Daytona 500. We got Magic Zulo in the 81 Toyota. On his outside, XR Frosty in the 51 Toyota. I'm listening to people in Discord, sorry. He is a 3-time Daytona 500 winner, so he is the defending winner at this track. So Deed Speeman in the 23 Toyota. On his outside, Nick's Designs in the 77, JVF Rod on the inside in the 92 Ford. He had a good race last week at Homestead. On his outside, Big Bucks, the number 10 Chevrolet. Camo back there in the 63 Toyota. He actually won last week in the Homestead race at the Clash. We got Druss in the 57 Toyota. Vasco in the 15 Chevrolet, Wendy's. Good looking paint scheme on that car. And rounding out the field, we got Medsky in the number 19 Toyota. So a 100-lap race. Got 2 stages. Lap 33 is going to be checkered for stage 1, 65 for stage 2, and the checkered flag of this race is going to be lap 114. I'm assuming it's a 100-lap race. I did not look at the race info whatsoever, so you can correct me later there, Frosty. But these drivers have waited all season to take the green flag for the Great American Race here in the FRC. It's a pretty big field. Hopefully these drivers can put on a show for us. I know this race can be chaos for some, and absolutely phenomenal finishes can be shown here with these racing packages, being able to run 3 wide very easily. We're probably going to see that in the stages for people desperate for stage points. So coming out of turn 4 and into the Trioval, the field is in hands of King Cameron. They're side by side coming to the start-finish line. And we are racing for the Great American Race, the FRC Season 13 Champions Divisional. Good launch for the 26. Cameron able to get clear of Shadow Alpha in that 5 car up in the top lane. But Shadow's going to power by on that outside lane. Get a good run, a little side draft there on corner exit. Got a little bit of help behind him. He's got that clutch machine. Or not, it's not clutch, that's Toaster, sorry. Down the backstretch, you see that power of the outside lane pushing Shadow ahead, but King Cameron's not going to let that lane go by, so he's going to go up and side draft him a little bit. dive back down to the bottom. Gonna pretty much clear Shadow here. He's gonna stay down. Looks like he's thinking about going up. So how long until we see a third lane forming? We know it's gonna happen. Let's go back on Toaster Lord here. Going roof cam here. You see the chaos. We see a outside line forming. Looks like Toaster Lord is up there. Did not take these drivers long to get up there at third line. Will it hold, though? So far, so good. Nobody's making contact. A little bit of contact back and forth, but nothing major to make these cars go around. These cars are pretty solid. They can take a lot of beating before they start going around. King Cameron just still holding that bottom lane. We got Shadow Alpha in the middle. Looks like Toaster Lord's leading that outside line, that Ford machine. We got 3 Fords up in the top. You cannot tell me that's not scripted, because these guys are working together as a team. These guys definitely know what they're doing, trying to get their manufacturers up front. And we got a car around Shadow Alpha going around. Multiple cars involved. Shadow gets turned around. We got to check some damage here to make sure nobody is cheating. So it looks like Shadow's perfectly fine. Nobody with engine damage. So the rule is if you get 100% engine damage, you are out of the race. Alright, a little chaos. I have to do... Sorry if I go quiet, everybody. I gotta make sure that nobody's got damage and report back to the actual race official, that being Frosty. So luckily, nobody really was damaged there besides Dross. Unfortunate for him, he got DNF'd out of that. I'm surprised, actually, because they didn't really hit each other that hard, that it looked like at least, unless we missed something off camera, but I tried to jump on it as fast as I could. But we are under caution for the first time in the Daytona 500 here in the FRC. If you're just tuning in today, you can actually join the series if you want. It's right there on the screen. Just join the FRC Discord and sign up, and you can race here today. So just hearing from Race Command, pit road is going to be open this time by, so we'll see if there's any takers on pit road. I cannot see anybody taking anything here unless you actually have damage from that wreck. You're only on lap 6. I mean, if you pit now, you can make it to the end, but even with this caution, it should help you actually manage enough fuel to make it to the end of the stage. But we got clutch, it looks like, dove to the pit road there. It's going to top off on fuel, most likely. So no choose cone that I'm hearing, so they're just going to double up on the back straightaway. This is a pretty cool camera. I'd go on it more, but, you know, when somebody's right on your back bumper, it doesn't really show much. Just the front grille of somebody else's car, but it's kind of cool to go under caution as you see the American flag waving in the background. As the cars are doubling up. Looks like Cosmos chooses the outside. Cameron on the bottom. Toaster Lord, third place there in the 91 Ford. Blue Streak in the 98 Ford. So it looks like they're actually swapping positions here. Cameron wants the outside, so that forces Solar Cosmos to the bottom. See, everybody likes the high side. I like the bottom. That way nobody can pass underneath you and steal your position away. It's a good way to secure your spot up front, but when you're in the middle, you can have the bottom lane just come up in front of you and swap lanes, steal it from you, and then you're behind somebody. So I feel like the bottom lane, in my opinion, is more superior for these longer runs. For those of you just tuning in, this is the FRC Daytona 500. We were just under caution for a wreck from Shadow Alpha back there in the 5 car. We had one DNF. But these guys have got more fuel, got the cars fixed, back in the trial for the green flag. And we are back racing here at Daytona. A lot more even of a launch there between Cosmos and Cameron. These two drivers are not friends by any means. Side by side up through the gears here. Cameron's going to have a good push from the Ford. A blue streak down the back straightaway. They are locked bumpers all the way back to 10th, 12th place there. Huge push for both lanes. Cameron got a little bit more help, but that bottom lane surges ahead. This is what I mean. That's why I like the bottom. You see what Cameron just did? He just went right up. Or not, yeah, not Cameron, but Cosmos came up off the bottom. And that forced Cameron up the hill. That's why I like the bottom lane. You can actually secure that spot a lot more because then you won't have people doing that to you. But that forces King Cameron up to the 3rd lane. I don't know if he wanted to be there or not. Cosmo's trying to block both lanes at once. Can't really do it. He does it. He's going to open up the door to the 63 of Cosmo, or not Cosmos, but Camo. Toaster Lord now in the bottom. Leading that bottom lane. We are 3 wide once again here at Daytona for the Great American Race. So far, 1 DNF. I don't know if that's going to be the only DNF. I think we are going to have a big one at some point today. When things start getting desperate under these cautions and stages. This is the race that everybody wants to check off. This is the race I've always wanted to win an IEC, and I could not do it. I came so close last season. But there's one man in the field who knows how to win this race more than any other driver, and that's the 51 of XR Frosty. He's won the last 3 here in this series. So if you want a good pick to win this race, just look at that 51 Monster Energy Toyota. It's a solid pick. See, if you win 1 Daytona 500, you're pretty good. You win 2, I'd call that lucky, but if you win 3 in a row, then you definitely know what you're doing. That's not just luck. Oh, little contact. Cameron in the wall. 4 wide back there. That's going to force him 4 wide. As we were just talking about Frosty. That's commentator's curse. I'm sorry, Frosty, but Cameron's going to lose the draft almost from that, I believe. It looks like he is. He hit the wall pretty hard. A little bobble just came up, shoving him up in the wall. But like I said, if he didn't choose the bottom, if he chose the bottom lane, that wouldn't have happened because then he wouldn't have been forced up there in the 3rd lane. But it's kind of the price you got to pay here at Daytona. Little mistakes like that can ruin your day. Luckily, he's still in the race. Still lots of time to get that spot back. And we got cars stacking up there. Magic Zulu went up on the racetrack, stacked up that whole outside line. You see them lift out of it. That almost was a big wreck. We got drivers coming on to the radio saying, please do not hit your brakes. It kind of did look like it. He drugged the brakes there, trying not to wreck himself, but that's a bad way to do it. Just lift off the throttle. Don't hit your brakes. That drastic deacceleration can cause a massive wreck, and I'm surprised it wasn't one. As you can see what it did to the rest of the field, it separated the whole field from that. It's almost got two little packs swarming. Back out front, Camo and Cosmos side by side. We got a Chevrolet on the bottom, Toyota in the middle, and the Ford leading that outside lane on the third lane. That's Blue Street. We're on board with NC Boy here. This is what they're dealing with. You can't really, you got no room to go anywhere. If you're Blue Street, you're stuck here. There's nothing you can do. You just gotta sit there and just ride it up. There's no lane, as you can see, bottom lane. You can't pass over the double yellow line, that's illegal. And you can't go right. There's no room whatsoever. Just, you can see how tight it is going around this racetrack. So any sort of mistake, like a little bit of a wiggle, you hit that apron, you shoot up the racetrack, you're collecting everybody behind you. So it is so detrimental to make sure you're doing everything you can to stay on that bottom and run a clean, smooth line. Otherwise, you're going to wreck yourself or the rest of the field, one or the other. The 3 wide is definitely cool to watch, but I can tell you right now, none of these drivers like it. You can't pass, you can't do much. And it's very easy to have a problem. So almost halfway through stage 1. Oh gosh, what are we doing here? There we go. So we got a lap car I'm hearing from the rest of the field. They're talking about a lap car up front. We will see. Nice, cool camera for everybody to see. You can see the lap car there up in front. That's King Cameron. But to lose the field, they're coming. You'll definitely be able to see the speed difference between these cars. It's almost 20, 25 mile an hour, 20, 30 mile an hour difference between. I believe, I can't remember, it's been a while since I raced, but it's something around there. But you definitely don't want to catch the lap car when you're 3 wide like this. Eventually you might see them form to 2 wide, or they might just risk it and pull it 4 wide, or Cameron might just go down underneath the apron and let this whole field pass him. But knowing Cameron, I don't know if he'll do that, but we will see. He's going to probably fight for his lap here. Once they get a little bit closer, I'll go in the rear-facing cam of King Cameron so you can see the difference in speed. But still, 3 by 3 by 3 by 3 the whole field. Trying to turn some laps, get to the end of stage 1 here, as it looks like clutch is lagging a little bit, having a little connection problem. Seen him jittering around a little bit. You can see that field getting bigger and bigger in his rearview mirror. They're going to be catching his draft any second. You're King Cameron. I'm running through my mind. Do I want to block the field? Do I want to try to stay in the lead lap? Or do I want to fall underneath the apron? They're about a lap or 2 laps away from catching him here. He might actually start getting his draft down the back straightaway. It looks like it. Oh yes, they definitely are. I'm gonna catch him by the tribal here. Blue flag is flying for King Cameron. See what he does here. Pulls on the apron a little bit. Gonna be 4 wide Terrible spot to catch a lap car. Forcing the whole field 4 wide. He's going to stay on the bottom, a little door pound and trying to get in on the track. He has to get back onto the track. He can't be on the bottom as he sees he's going to form in there barely. Kind of forced his way in there. He's like, come on, guys. You got to give me a hole. I cannot ride the apron at full speed. He's going to get back down on the apron once again and let this field pass. The blue flag is in the air for this guy. Blue flag means you got to get out of the way of the lead cars. Let them by. Back out front. Camo still leading in the middle. We got Solar Cosmos on the bottom and Blue Streak on the 3rd lane. Lap 19 coming to 20. I think these guys have finally figured out we need to settle down. Let these laps turn by. There's no reason to really race each other. Still 10 laps. 10 laps at Daytona is a long time. Robot right back with Toaster. Let's see what he's dealing with. This is the chaos I'm talking about. The whole field stacked up like this, and you're like a sitting duck if you're in a corner and somebody gets sideways up there in the front. You got nowhere to go. Looks like Toaster Lord's purposely sitting back here, letting these laps turn by, trying to stay clean. Daytona is pretty much a survival to the end. It's not really how fast you get there, it's just if you get there at all. As that Dross did not make it very far. His 57 Toyota, very unfortunate. Here's one of the guys who was involved in that wreck. Shadow Elf in the 5 car. On board with him now. Still pretty calm and cool. Not a lot of going on here. Looks like Shadow's purposely trying to stay in the back here. You see him lifting. Let's just see if we can pull up his telemetry. I'll actually see, but I don't think you guys can because of this overlay. Wrong camera. Yeah, he's doing a lot of lefting up here. I don't know if you guys can see. Actually, can you see that? Yeah, you can. That blue line on the top, on the right side there, right beside his miles per hour, that's his gas pedal. If it's full blue like that, he's full throttle. We will see if he starts lifting here. Looks like he's trying to roll the top here, trying to get by a couple cars. Staying wide open at the moment. It's going to change when he gets up to him. A little mishap. His shot this whole row pretty much backwards. Got a big train going on the bottom. Very unusual to see that here at Daytona. All the drivers are pretty much calm on the radio, not saying too much. Still 3x3 the whole field. Camo in the middle, Cosmos on the bottom, and Blue Streak on the outside. So top 5 in the stage get points. And lap 32 is going to be white flag for stage number 1, 33 checkered. So these guys, you're going to start seeing them getting a little bit racy here, trying to push the issue, try to get some points. You have to be in the top 5 to get points. You're curious, how do you make a pass when everybody's 3x3 like this? You're going to see at some point somebody try to force it 4 wide. I know it's really hard to do, but you're in a desperate situation where you feel like this is the only race that you're going to gain a lot of points at. You might see the desperation sit in to where somebody actually does pull it 4 wide. I've seen it before, so I would not be surprised. Lap 26 now. Still 3x3 down the back straightaway. Quite curious, the guys in the back, if they're actually purposely trying to sit back there or what. Honestly, I'm the type of person you're going to be up. I'm going to try to keep my car up front all day long at the Daytona 500. I find the longer I sit back there, the more I get caught up in everybody else's mess. As soon as these front cars or second or third row start wrecking, you have nowhere to go back there. So I know it's really hard to push the issue when everybody's 3 wide, but it is possible to make passes. Lap 28 now. Anybody tuning in, this is, you are watching the FRC Daytona 500 for the season 13 Champions Divisional here in the FRC. I'm your host, Who's Easy. We are on lap 28, so lap 32 is white, lap 33 is checkered for stage number 1. Still haven't had a change for the lead in the last 20 laps, at least. Solar Cosmos still leading the bottom, Camo in the middle, and Blue Streak leading that outside. You got a Chevy on the bottom, Toyota, and a Ford. You can't even tell, you can't even say which manufacturer is going to dominate this race, because they are all in the top 3 at the moment. Looks like that outside line's starting to fade away. Everybody's forming double wide, which is kind of strange, I'll be honest. Little contact there between Camo and Cosmos. Blue Streak back up there on the top side. Got a huge run down the back straightaway because of that little bit of a contact between Camo and Cosmos. Lap 29 now. I hear a lap car on screen. Somebody pitted before the stage. So 3 laps to go here in stage number 1 for the Great American Race. We are back to double wide for the front 2 cars. This is a great opportunity for somebody else to get up there, and look who's coming. Nick's Designs in that 77 Chevrolet looking on the outside. We've got a car on the apron. Blue flag is in the air for him. He's got to fall behind the field safely, and it looks like he does. Pit road is closed. Somebody dove on pit road before the start-finish line, so I believe he is good. So 2 laps to go here for stage number 1 here in the Daytona 500 for the FRC. Still pretty much 2 lanes, but Blue Streak is trying to make something happen on that outside line. Doesn't really have much help, but as long as he gets a side draft, he won't need help. Down the back straightaway, still 3x3 this whole field. Blue Streak's finally got some help behind him. That's Nick's Designs up there. In the 15 of Vasco. At a turn to 4, white flag in the air for stage number 1. One more time around here at Daytona. Who is going to get it? They are still 3x3. Top 5 earn stage points. And the first 2 rows are going to be the first, or they are pretty much the only ones who are going to get stage points. So who is it going to be? Might have to help Frosty out with this one, figuring out who finished where, because this is going to be very interesting to tell the positions. Into turn number 3 for the final time, a little contact between cut. That's going to make almost a wreck off of turn 4, Solar Cosmos. Oh my gosh, we botched it. How is this helicopter cam game? How is this helicopter cam? Now it goes on to helicopter cam. We glitched the game. Wow. Okay. It looks like Cosmos got it. I apologize. I don't know what Forza was doing there. I clicked helicopter cam and it went to roof cam. So Solar Cosmos is going to be stage number 1 winner. Camo second. NC Boy for Life is somehow third. I completely missed that. I was too busy looking at the cameras trying to get them to work, but thank you, Forza, for not actually working properly. So I believe pit road is going to be open this time by, as I'm going to take a drink break, so give me one moment, guys. Alright. We are back. Looks like Camo's going to come off pit road first still. Cosmos second. NC Boy for Life third. They're going to be doubling up on the back straightaway. So lap, let's see here. Lap 65 is going to be checkered, so 64 is white for stage number 2. We completely botched the first stage thanks to Forza's glitchiness with the cameras. I clicked the helicopter cam and it didn't want to go to it, so I don't know. We'll have to pay attention to the next time we try to do that. We're going to go on board with Mr. Defending Champion himself, EVR Rewar. We'll see how one of these restarts go. I'm surprised this man hasn't been leading yet. He's pretty good at Daytona, so I expect this 12 car to be up front and stay up front at some point. He's in a good spot to make some positions here. All he has to do is go to the third lane. As we're coming into the trial to go back green once again. And the green flag's in the air. We're back underway here for the Great American Race, the Daytona 500 for the FRC Champions Divisional. Great start for the outside line, the 63 of Camo, but Cosmos is going to roll the bottom as Mr. Champion himself, EVR Reward, trying to sit behind the 63. I'm surprised he's not going out to the third lane just yet. Try to lead that outside line, but he's going to stay in line. As we see Shadow Alpha back there going to third lane, trying to make some ground. He's going to drive right up through the field. You see the speed whenever you're single car like that. It's kind of crazy. I wouldn't say it's the most realistic thing here in Forza, but that third lane is pretty strong. You don't really need much help. Just a little bit of side draft and you'll be good. The whole field is kind of separated right now. It's kind of strange. Everybody's giving each other a lot of room. As we were seeing 3 wide, Shadow Alpha made it to the third lane up there. Blue Streak's coming up to follow him. Down the back straightaway once again, 3x3x3, the whole field. A little bit of jostling going on here. Nick's Designs pulls up behind Shadow Alpha in the outside lane there, trying to gain some ground once again. And no, King Camera is back on the lead lap, so that's good for him. He's finally up there with the boys. Showing him 9th on the board so far. Still 3x3, the whole field. You're watching the FRC Daytona 500. My name is Suzizi. Went a little bit of on a camera break there, doing some cool shots for Frosty there. Getting him some good angles. But still out front, the same two cars pretty much. Cosmos and Camo. Still leading this race. We got Nick's Designs up there in the third lane. Shadow Alpha fell in behind Camo there. Look behind Nick's Designs. It's King Cameron back up front once again, trying to get in the top three. He's found his way from the back to the front. Just can he stay there, though? He was involved in a wreck earlier. He's your pole center of this race. Had a little bit of right side damage. Had to go down pit road and lost the lead lap. The last caution actually, well, not the last caution, but the stage there gave his track position back. He was able to get his lap back, and he's now up in the top 6. Not much going on. This is Daytona for you. It usually is a very boring race until you start getting to closer to stage finishes and the finish of the race. Because right now these drivers are just saving fuel, just riding, not trying to wreck, trying to survive until the end. You can't win the race in the garage. Ooh, as we see a car back up in the wall back there, it looks like, I don't know if that was Voss. It could have been Big Bucks or something like that. I don't know. Looks like JVF Rod actually. Little wall contact in that Ford. He had a good race, not last week, the week before that, the Clash at Homestead. Actually really did good in the opening of the Clash. Racing your way in, he led a bunch of laps, was one of the best cars to beat there. And it really impressed me, but riding in the back right now, trying to save his car till the end, trying to survive. Lap 43, I believe, of 110 or 100 laps. I don't know how many laps are in the race. Frosty did not send me that. Still 3x3x3, the whole field. You're watching the FRC Daytona 500. I am sorry that I am not talking much, but there is not much going on. There's not much to talk about. We have not had very many lead changes. Still the same two cars out front once again. Camo and Cosmos. Just letting these laps turn by. Nick's Designs up there in the top 3 on the outside lane. Everybody's just trying to turn some laps right now, waiting for stage 2 finish. Lap 64 is going to be white, 65 is checkered for that. But everybody right now is just trying to stay in lines, let these laps turn by, so they have something to race for. But I will pop in if anything's interesting going on. But right now, as you can see, just not much going on. Whoa, the big one strikes here at Daytona. Multiple cars involved. Shadow involved once again. Gonna check damage here and make sure everybody's still alive. Good on Shadow Alpha here. I believe everybody's fine here. Looks like everybody's alive. Luckily, nobody died from that. Usually you have people crash out. You got kicked out of the party. We're over here trying to stay in the Xbox party. Luckily, nobody was involved in that, but that was a big one here at Daytona. A couple cars involved. Shadow Alpha once again involved in another giant wreck. Pretty sure he's fine though. Didn't really get any major hits, but very unfortunate he got involved in that. Blue Streak also involved. We caught that on camera. Magic Zulu also one that was involved in that. Indeed, Speeman. New leader though, Nick's Designs. He walks away with the lead on that. Pit road is going to be open this time by. We'll see if we have any takers. I have a feeling we will get quite a few here. American flag waving in the background. It's been a wild week. We lost a great person. Charlie Kirk got assassinated last week. Very unfortunate. We to remember him, we're going to go silent here on the start. So 55 out of 65 laps, so just under 10 laps to go at the green flag. So lap 64 is going to be white for stage 2, 65 for is checkered. So they're doubling up this time by. Looks like Nick's Design is going to choose the bottom here. Camo on the outside. Toaster Lord takes third place on the inside. Frosty on the outside fourth. Once we go green, I'm going to take a lap for to remember Charlie Kirk once again. He was an amazing person and didn't need to die, so we're going to honor him right now. Then a turn 4 coming to the green flag. Side by side the entire field. Nick's Designs is going to lead him to the green flag this time. And green flag racing, we are back underway for the Daytona 500 here in the FRC. Taking a moment of silence. 3 wide still for the race lead. Nick's Designs leads the bottom. Looks like Camo still in that middle lane, and we got Clutch trying to work that outside lane in the 3rd lane. Trying to get it for me. He's going to fall back in line, but Shadow Alpha coming back. Just was involved in that last wreck, and he's already back up in the top 3. That 5 car is looking pretty fast here today. He's trying to get his first ever Daytona 500. So lap 57 coming to lap 58. Still 3x3. The entire field has not changed pretty much this whole entire race. Everybody racing as hard as they possibly can to survive to the end. Luckily, we've only had 1 DNF and not many more. There's definitely a couple opportunities where we could have had a way bigger wreck than we already seen, as they are still 3x3 down the back straightaway. Taking a ride on board with Vasco here. As you see on the back of Shadow's car, we already talked about it earlier. R.I.P. Charlie Kirk. Pretty cool to see that on the back of his race car. See, just not much you can do with these runs. Like, you get a run and then you start going forward and it just dies off, and then the car next to you gets a run and then it dies off. It's just a train reaction. And it just keeps trading back and forth between cars. As we see, Shadow Alpha fell off pretty hard there. You gotta make sure you pinch the guy on your inside pretty hard in the corner, otherwise you lose a bunch of ground. You see that massive run he gets off of turn 4 down the front straightaway. Now it's all gone. He's going to come down a little bit, try to side draft to 63 as close as he possibly can. And you're going to see another massive run right here. Watch this 5 car. Yeah, it actually stalled out on that one. Wow. So coming to lap 61 now. Everybody just tuning in, lap 64 is white, 65 is checkered for stage 2 here in the Daytona 500. Like Clutch is dealing with a little bit of lag. You see that white car in the middle keeps bobbing around a little bit. Hopefully his connection holds up and he actually stays in the race, but don't be surprised if you see that white Toyota disconnect from this race. All the drivers though very quiet on the radio. As we see, Nick's Designs pushes up Camo to that outside line. That opens up the door for Frosty on the bottom. So lap 64, 2 laps to go here in stage number 2. And look who it is, XR Frosty on the bottom. He's won the last 3 Daytona 500s, and he has seen the front once again, just halfway through the race. Nick's Design's going to shut the door back on him. Coming to the white flag here. White flag in the air. White flag for stage number 2. Still 3x3x3 for the first 2 rows. It is anybody's race at the moment. We're going to actually try to get the helicopter cam to work this time, hopefully. Forza. Down the back straightaway for the final time for stage number 2. Frosty trying to look on the inside. Not enough room to make it happen. Looking a little bit desperate there. Top 5 earned stage points, but you see the desperation with that 51 car. He shoves the 12 up the track. Try to gain a little bit. Off of turn 4. We're going to see who gets it here. To the start-finish line. And the 63 gets it. Camo. So Camo gets the stage there. Frosty second unofficially. It's got to be reviewed after the race because he did actually go underneath the double yellow line. We don't know if that was forced or not. So that will be under review after the race. But from what I've seen, it looked like the 51. So pit road is going to be open this time by anybody in the Twitch stream right now. Put your comment down below who you think is going to win the Daytona 500. Is it going to be somebody new, or is it going to be XR Frosty winning 4 in a row here in the FRC? I'd like to hear what you guys' opinions are. I don't have one. Every time I talk about somebody who's going to win the race, they never win and they usually crash out. So I don't want to ruin anything for anybody. So I'm not going to pick. It's going to be a driver in the field. Now, luckily, I just said that the whole field's going to wreck. And then somehow Dross will be the winner. So it looks like Clutch is actually going to come out with the lead now. So there is no choose cone here at Daytona. The leader has choice of lane if he wants the bottom or if he wants the top. The rest of the field has to just fall in line. So we'll see what kind of lane he chooses here. He's going to choose the top side. It gives the bottom to Camo. My opinion, though, that bottom lane has been securing these positions. So I would suggest choosing the bottom lane and sticking there until a couple laps to go, then do what you gotta do to stay up front. But we've seen everybody who chooses the outside gets forced at a line eventually. So hopefully that doesn't bite them in the butt later. Well, we are on lap 66, just got done with stage number 2. We are currently on stage number 3, about to take the green flag once again. We're going to go on board with the 3-time in a row winner, XR Frosty. give you guys a POV of what it's like here to take the green flag here at FRC. It's been a beautiful day here at Daytona. We've had 2 wrecks so far, only 1 DNF. Will we see a big one? I don't know. I really don't know. Could not tell you at all. The only thing I can tell you, we are going back green once again for the FRC Daytona 500. Great launch for the 56 and the 63, both pretty equal on that. XR Frosty giving a good push to the 56, trying to get them up through the gears quickly as they are side by side for the race lead. There's Nick's Designs in that 77 on the left side of your screen, trying to push the 63 now. But side by side down the back straightaway. See the bottom lane. They're trying to make something happen down there. That forced Camo in the middle. Camo's been in the middle pretty much this whole race. I think he likes the car to be in the middle lane. So I don't think he's too mad that Nick's Designs is going to surge past him here. And I think Nick's Designs might actually come up in front of him. Possibly. No, he's going to stay on the bottom. Still 3x3. Looks like Clutch Fan is trying to make something happen up there. Just like I said, what did I say at the start of this thing? Anybody who chooses the outside lane usually gets shuffled out of line, and Clutch is trying to battle back from that, but he did lose a couple of spots from that initial start. So definitely on the restarts, you want to be on the bottom. You have a little bit more control of where you go. This is the chaos. A little contact between 98 and the 19. Blue Streak getting into Medsky. Not enough to make anything happen, but I wouldn't keep testing it. You're gonna ride a clean, solid race, be smooth as possible, trying to survive to the end so you actually have a chance to win the Daytona 500. Shadow Alpha down there in the 5 makes a little contact. Cosmos coming down. Still tight 3x3. Hear the lifting on Cosmos' car. Lap 70 now. Like 40 some laps to go still. Whoa, big car goes around. Oh my goodness, Camo. I looked away for 1 second and we got Camo up in the air. Gotta check damage real quick. He's good. Blue Streak. Blue Streak is fine as well. Gotta make sure everybody's legal here. Sorry to go mute, guys. I had to make sure that everybody had no damage there. The rule is if you get 100% engine damage, you are too damaged to continue. So I have to make sure that everybody is legal and nobody is breaking rules there. So I had to make sure that the race official knew that. So So far, so good. We've only had one DNF. I'm surprised nobody DNF'd right there. We've seen Camo actually up in the air. We kind of missed it. It was a bad camera angle, but I barely saw that. I was looking down. Caught it in my peripheral vision. But pit road is going to be open this time by. You're definitely going to see some takers now. You might actually see the whole field come down here. Wow, some people are actually staying out. Majority of the field is staying out. I would have went down. It was perfect time to take some gas. If there's like 15, 20 laps to go, I wouldn't be going down pit road, but Nick's design is going to be choosing this time by if he wants the top or bottom lane. You're just tuning in now. We are under caution from a wreck from Camo, actually going right up in the air. He got turned backwards, hit the wall, and all four tires came off the ground. Huge hit for him, but he's still in the race, surprisingly. Hearing from race control, the drivers are going to be choosing right here off the corner. Nick's Designs wants the outside, but I've been saying every single restart, that outside line usually gets shoved out of line. We'll see what happens with Magic Zulu now being underneath in the inside lane. Magic Zulu is going to see the front row for the first ever time today. That number 81 Toyota Camry. It's been a very quiet race so far. We've had a couple wrecks. Nothing too major besides the last one we just saw with Camo going in the air, but nothing absolutely insane. I'm surprised we haven't had any more DNFs with some of these wrecks that I've seen. But yeah, it's been a very quiet race. Not a lot of going on. Everybody's just trying to survive to the end and make it to the white flag of this race. But the drivers are side by side once again, coming into the tri-oval to take the green flag. Nick's Designs on the outside. Your race leader. Start finish line, green flag. We are back underway for the Great American Race. The FRC Champions Divisional Season 13. Great start for the 77 car, but that 81's going to roll past them here on the bottom, the shorter way around. We'll watch this run down the back straightaway. This 77 car is going to surge ahead a little bit off the corner. Here comes the run. Somebody's trying to work that outside lane. It looks like Vasco, Nick's Designs, trying to go up to block that. Going to drop down in front of him. Whoa! Nick's Designs had to go up the racetrack. You see a little bit of a wiggle in the corner. That could have been really bad right there. Luckily he was able to hold on to it. Little shot from behind from Vasco. Got that 77 car way upset going into that corner. He's lucky he didn't go around on him. That could have been bad. Lap 74 of the race. We're going to check and see what the white flag is. I completely forget. So white flag is 113, checkered is 114. So the whole field is 3x3 once again. This is practically what we've seen so far in this race. Just 3x3. This is Forza Motorsport in a nutshell right here. Amazing draft, but you can't do much with it. It's always going to be side by side. There's a little contact between Deed Speeman, and it looked like that was Cosmos on the bottom. he made contact with. Whoa, little contact between the 23 and the 77. That was almost a big wreck right there. 23 able to hold on to it. Still 3x3 the whole field. 23 looking really upset, not really comfortable in his race car, as you see, just moving all over the place. You're dancing all over the place. You do not want to be in the middle lane, I tell you. If I'm camo that's we're on board with, I'd be very nervous of this 23 car. As you see, the 81 hit the apron multiple times. See, the outside lane gave them so much room there. They saw it as well. I can feel a wreck coming. I don't know about you guys, if you guys can feel one coming or not, but I definitely can. It's getting a little racy here. Cars are dancing around. If you're tuning into the stream, I'm actually looking at the comments right now. Let me know, who do you think is going to win this race? Every time I talk about somebody who's going to win the race, I give them commentator's curse. I'm not doing it. I'll let you guys do it. I can give you 3 cars that would be a good option. So far, it's been Camo in the 63, Cosmos in the 27, and Nick's Designs looks pretty strong. It's between Nick's and Cameron, but Cameron has not seen the lead since he lost it. But we have seen Nick's Designs up here quite a bit. That little move from Cosmos moving up to the middle lane there opens up the door for Shadow Alpha. I think Shadow's going to see the front row once again. He's been seeing the front a lot too, but every time he gets to the front, he gets turned sideways. He's been involved in 2 wrecks so far. Hopefully he doesn't get in a 3rd one that ends his race. That time it was Cosmos that led it there at the line. So lap 80 out of 115. Alright, so we're going to take one quick short break. If I miss anything, I apologize. I am away from the screen, so give me one moment. And we're back. Looks like we're still 3x3. Didn't miss any action to help, but Blue Streak now leading on the bottom. We got Shadow Alpha in the middle. Back to 2 lanes up front. It's pretty strange to see here at Daytona. Medsky now trying to lead that outside line, that 19 JBL Toyota. Looking pretty solid up there. This lap coming to 85, and 115 is going to be checkered. 114 is the white flag. So if you're just tuning in, this is the FRC Daytona 500 for the season 13 of the Champions Divisional here in the FRC. My name is Who's Easy. We've had 3 major wrecks so far. One actually, DNF Druss there. You see the bottom of your screen there on the left. He got eliminated in the first wreck. We are currently on stage number 3 of the race. It's been anybody's race so far. I've seen pretty much almost everybody lead a lap, besides 2 or 3. These guys have been keeping it very exciting, somewhat. It's Daytona, so it's pretty hard to have a whole lot of action when everybody's stuck 3x3, but that's Forza Motorsport in a nutshell. So it's interesting to see some new faces up front, though. Shadow Alpha, Blue Streak. And now Medsky leading that outside lane. Shadow Alpha going to lead that lap in that 5 Chevrolet. Getting a good push from Solar Cosmos. All 3 manufacturers up in the top 3. Ford on the bottom, Chevrolet in the middle, and Toyota on the outside. Medsky wants to keep this 3rd lane going. He's got a side draft that inside lane a little bit better. Getting a good run down the back straightaway. Whoa, that was almost a wreck. You seen Blue Streak make some contact. That's lost him from the front row. Shadow Alpha looks like he wants to maintain that middle lane. Honestly, if I was him, I'd be on the bottom. Every person I've seen who's on the bottom has stayed there. Anyone who's in the middle lane to top lane has not. They usually get pushed up at some point and shuffled out of line. We got Big Bucks on the bottom there. We haven't seen him up front today, but he has worked his way up to the front. A lot of the guys are going to be staying in the back earlier on in the race, just trying to survive to the end. Like, this is a survival race. You don't know what lap could be the last one for you, because some of these wrecks, as soon as these top 3 turn sideways, the whole field has nowhere to go. So you're kind of a sitting duck when you're back farther in the back. I know you feel a little bit more comfortable because you have room to brake, but if you get sideways in, like, say, turn 3 and 4 in the middle of the corner, it's really hard to avoid a wreck at that kind of speed when you got nowhere to go. Whoa, huge wreck on camera. Points of interest. Wow, that actually got a good wreck there. Cars dive to the pit road. They all stay green. Wow. I guess no better way to hit pit road under green than almost in a freaking wreck. Wow. I almost swore, sorry. But holy. Did not expect that one. Luckily nobody DNF from that, but you can see what happened to the whole field. Everybody single file. That really messed up everybody. Great job by the people diving to pit road. This is a perfect opportunity to do that. But to avoid a penalty, you must stay on the apron all the way to the back straightaway. You come up on track, you are going to get a penalty. And so far, so good. Everybody's on the apron. A great opportunity to drop to pit road. Almost in a wreck there. That slowed down the rest of the field. As you can see, these are the two leaders. Where's everybody else at? Everybody's still separated. So those cars that pitted are way out front in turn 3. What a strange way to pit, but that definitely worked out for the guys who dove to pit road. Alpha is going to go to pit road now. Looks like the top 6 cars have went to pit road. Nick's Designs back on the racetrack with Solar Cosmos and King Cameron. You can see how clustered this field is. They are all over the place. Nobody's really together besides these 3. The whole field is separated. So we're going to go back out front to your race leader, Medsky, all by himself. He's got nobody around him. He looks like he's going to go to pit road this time. He's actually going to pretty much stop. That's strange. I don't know why he entered pit road so slow. Medsky going on pit road, just about to exit. He's going to lose the lead here, but Camo all by himself. This is technically going to be the battle for the lead right here that you're seeing between Magic Zulu, Frosty, and Shadow Alpha. Camo is not going to be in the lead for much longer. He is going to lose it because these guys are coming. We got 2 little packs forming here. That second pack's a little far back, but they might get the draft and get back up front, but it's going to be very interesting for Camo. What lane do you block here? You're a pretty slow car. He wants the middle. They're going to go right by him here. Looks like Clutch is actually going to pick him up there. Oh no, he's going to force him 4 wide. Shadow back down to the middle lane once again. He's trying to command this race. He wants the Daytona 500. Anybody wants to know a little history here? This 51 car has won the last 3 Daytona 500s. So if you want a good pick to win the Daytona 500, it's this guy. And he's only got 3 cars in front of him. And he can do it again. Can he get number 4? hop on this other pack and see how they're doing here. Up on Rifkin so we get an idea. Yeah, they are very far back. They don't look very far when you're on the actual track cameras, but once you get to this point of view, this is not good, as some cars are making contact up there. That's going to slow them down. Well, that definitely just opened up the door for these guys in the back. They're actually going to get back in the draft because of that little bit of contact. I think I just reverse cursed that second pack. Talked about them and they got right back up to the front. Frosty's a little far out there. Sounds like a little connection issue on Frosty's end. We're hearing over the radio something about an invisible car, so it seems to be fixed now. That's something you definitely don't want to deal with while you're racing at full speed at Daytona. But everybody slammed back together. Both packs are now one pack again. Still 3x3 for the race lead. XR Frosty, the three-time winner, back on command here on the bottom lane. Blue Streaking is in the middle. Shadow Alpha in the third lane there. Somebody on the way on the bottom there. I think he's letting the cars go. Yeah, he's going to fall back in line. He's like, yeah, I do not want to be a part of this right now. You guys go ahead. Because they are still 3x3 for the race lead. Still just over 15 laps to go of this race. Lap 14 is 114 is white flag, 115 is checkered. And we got a car going around. Camo. Big wreck for some of these cars as you see them going up into the grass cosmos. Oh my goodness. I was trying to get the right camera angle for that. It looks like we have everybody's alive. So the rule is, why I'm checking their damage is if you get 100% engine damage, you are out of the race. 2 damaged to continue. So it looks like everybody's good there. Nobody had engine damage. That is the 4th caution of the race for cars wrecking. So Blue Streak is going to be your leader for now until they go to pit road. Pit road is open this time by, I believe. Yes, it is. I don't think we're going to see any takers. Yeah, they just got done out of a pit cycle, so there's no reason for the top 10 pretty much to pit. The rest in the back who have damage are going to go down pit road and fix their cars, but we will see. Will that be the last wreck, though? I think we're just getting started, to be honest with you. Put your comments down below. Let me know who you think is going to win the Daytona 500 here in the FRC. I've said it multiple times. I am not choosing a car because every time I do, it's a commentator's curse and they never win, or they wreck out of the race and they die. So I'm not going to do that. It literally happens every single time I choose a car. So I'm not doing it. I'd like to hear your guys' thoughts, though. Who do you think is going to actually win this race? Will XR Frosty win 4 in a row? He's only got 1 car in front of him. If you guys want to join the action, just join the FRC Discord. We race Friday nights at 8:45 p.m. Eastern here for the Champions Divisional of Season 13. We'd love to have you. If you want to come in the race, take your shot at next week. So lap 101, we're going to be taking the green, coming to 102. The field is in the hands of EVR Blue Streak on the outside lane. Into the Geico restart zone once again. Green flag is out for the Daytona 500 here in the FRC. Great jump by the outside lane. EVR Blue Streak surges ahead just a little bit. 81 trying to look to the outside, trying to form that outside lane. He doesn't want anybody stealing it from him, so he's going to take it while he can. But look who's in command. The 51 car, XR Frosty. He's looking for 4 in a row. I don't know if he can do it or not. Shadow Alpha back on the bottom lane. Getting a huge push from the 77. Nick's Designs trying to look to the outside. Nowhere to go there. He's going to fall back in line. Stuck beside Blue Streak there. Too wide for the race lead. Shadow on the bottom, Frosty on the outside. See a third lane foreman back there trying to get up to the front. Shadow going to come up in front of Frosty. He's like, nope, you're not getting this 4 in a row. I'm going to take it from you. This is my turn to win the Daytona 500 as Frosty goes to the outside now. This is what you got to do to win a race. You have to lead a lane. You can't wait and get stuck behind cars. You have to be in command of a lane. This is the time that you want to be out front. We are almost under 10 laps to go here for the Daytona 500. As we see 3x3 the entire field once again. Tensions are heating up. Will we see a big one? Can they make it around 10 laps without wrecking? Nick's Designs on the bottom, Shadow in the middle, Frosty on the outside. Nick's and Shadow both looking for the first ever Daytona 500 here in the FRC. Frosty looking for his 4th in a row here in the FRC. If I'm Shadow, I feel like I'm in a good position. Same with Nick's Designs. Frosty, I don't know. If something happens between these two, they can come up and hit me into that outside wall. It's not a very comfortable spot being against the wall like that, but you gotta do what you gotta do to stay up front. Will somebody pull it 4 wide? That's also another option. I've seen it happen before. We've seen it in the race already. It don't look like there's 4 lanes, but there is, and it's gonna be very, very tight and very hard not to wreck. So hopefully these drivers can make do, as we see Vasco in the 15 make a little wiggle there from lag. It looked like a little connection issue. Looks like he's going to be fine though. So lap 106, 114 is white flag, 115 is checkered. Frosty surging ahead on that outside. Still side by side, everybody's dead even for the front row. Down the back straightaway, we're going to go on board with Vasco here. Get a little glimpse of what it's like right now being running this tight. This is the tightest we've seen these guys run together. You could fit a bicycle in between these cars. A lot of side draft going on as you see the 51, how close he's getting to Vasco there, trying to get as much run as possible. just like that, that little bit of a side draft could have won them the Daytona 500 if that was the white flag right there, because he got it right there at the line. We'll go a little bit further back here. Still 3x3 the whole field. Everybody pushing, everybody trying to make something happen. It's so hard to make anything happen when the cars are stuck 3x3 like this. You feel like you're a sitting duck if you're clutch. As you can see, we're riding on board with him. What does he do? He has nowhere to go unless he forces the issue 4 wide. And that puts everybody in jeopardy. That puts yourself in jeopardy. So do you really want to take that opportunity? Or do you want to wait for the white flag? Lap 108. You can see the desperation between some of these drivers, how tight the cars are getting, as we see a little contact in the back. Looks like everybody's fine, though. Maybe a couple cars lost the draft from that. I don't know. That could have been earlier, but that's going to screw up a lot of the lines. They're going to have to get formed back up in the top 8. It gives some opportunity for some of these drivers to make passes and make moves and gain a couple spots, but they are lucky that was not a big one ending anybody's day. Still, anything can happen. In just over 5 laps to go here at Daytona. So 5 laps to go here at the line. It's anybody's race. Can they make it to the white flag? God, looking at the screen right now, you can hear their heartbeats almost going around this racetrack. Everybody's blood pressure's through the roof. They know what's on the line. This is the Daytona 500. Shadow Alpha in the middle, and the best opportunity to win the biggest race of his life at the moment. Nick's Designs also in a great opportunity to win the Daytona 500. Frosty trying to win 4 in a row and shove it in everybody's face that he is the best here at Daytona. Nick's Designs way out front. He has a great opportunity to slide up in front of Shadow Alpha. He does not do it. He stays on the bottom. That is a good opportunity. I would wait. It is so easy to slide up to the middle lane, but oh, and we see a car going around there, almost. Gonna save it? No, they're not. There it is. Oh my gosh, we missed it. Blue streak around. Is he out of the race? No, he's not. He's still good. Max D is still alive. Camo, is he alive? Yes, he's alive. Deed Speedman. They are all alive. Surprising nobody DNF from that. And I believe the yellow flag is going to be out this time by. And it is. Oh my goodness. This ramps it up. They are going to be going to FRC overtime for the Daytona 500. So this changes everything. Frosty loses a couple spots from that, but he will start on the outside. So he still will have a chance to pull it 3 wide once again. But this is a moment that everybody gets to calm down, let the nerves settle, try to lower your blood pressure a little bit, but If you're Nick's Designs or Shadow Alpha right now, these top two cars, it don't matter how fast you're going around the racetrack. If you're pacing, your heart is going through the roof. Because this is the moment. There's only going to be 2 laps to go when they go green. And this could be one of the biggest races of your life to win here in the FRC. So pit road is open. Is anybody going to be a taker here? No takers. So on the back straightaway, they will double up, and we will be under overtime rules here for the FRC. So if they can make it to the white flag, the race is official. There are going to be 2 laps to go once we go green. But we are currently under overtime for the 5th big one of the race. Only 1 DNF so far. That was earlier on. That was the first wreck we had. But all these drivers have all made it to this moment. They've all survived. It's now who is going to win it. Is it going to be Nick's Designs? Is it going to be Shadow Alpha? Is it going to be JVF Rod? Where did he come from? Or is it going to be XR Frosty getting his 4th Daytona 500 in a row? They are doubling up this time by Nick's Designs. Chooses the bottom. That's actually surprising. I've been saying the bottom has been the best so far on the restarts, but the middle is so important when it comes to the start-finish line. You get that run off of turn 4. And my heart's beating for these guys. This is going to be really crazy. So white flag is going to be 115, checkered 116 because of the overtime here. So this is going to be a huge moment for these guys. This is what it come down to. 115 laps of the race. And it all comes down to an overtime restart. 2 laps to go here in the FRC Daytona 500. Nick's Designs in the lead. Second place, Shadow Alpha into the restart zone. Green flag. We are under overtime here in the FRC for the Daytona 500, and Frosty jumps out to the outside line. 3 wide for the race lead almost instantly in turn number 1. He timed that restart perfectly. He's trying to be in command of that outside line so nobody makes a pass on him, as they are still 3 wide for the race lead, as we see Toaster Lord up there trying to fall in line up behind Frosty in that Ford machine. Down the back straightaway, still 3x3. You see the desperation from Cosmos back there underneath the W line. He has to come back in line. He can't make a pass down there. It's illegal. Going into turn number 3. Still side by side for the race lead. All 3 cars. Off of turn number 4. Can they see the white flag without a wreck? White flag in the air one more time around here in the FRC Daytona 500. Nick's Designs on the bottom. Shadow Alpha in the middle. XR Frosty on the top lane. Nick's Designs looking for his first ever career Daytona 500 here in FRC. Same with Shadow Alpha in that 5 machine. And XR Frosty looking for his 4th in a row here at Daytona. Down the backstretch for the final time. Still side by side for the leaders. You see the desperation from the 92 on the bottom of JVF Ride. There is no 4th lane coming through the final corners. Can they make it? Little contact between the top 3. And off of turn 4 for the final time, coming to the start-finish line. Nick's Designs on the bottom. Coming to the line, Nick's Designs wins the Daytona 500 in the FRC. Wow. I thought it was going to be a lot closer than that. Great win by that 77. gets it done here at Daytona. No wrecks off of turn 4. Everybody survives. That was crazy. I thought that was going to be a lot closer, but great finish for those guys. They kept it clean. They did not make much contact. That was a very clean finish to the start-finish line. Great job by Nick's Designs getting it his first ever career win, Daytona 500. Frosty's so close of getting 4 in a row. Shadow Alpha, probably the best career finish for the Daytona 500 for him. So the second place is under review, we are hearing. But Nick's Designs coming around to the start-finish line to burn it down here at Daytona. What a great race. It was very quiet for majority of it. We had some crazy finishes. We seen a car get all 4 tires off the ground. I barely even saw it. I was not really paying attention in that moment. And we had a very clean overtime finish. And this man, Nick's Designs, wins here in the Daytona 500. All right, we're going to get him up here in the booth and interview your race winner. We'll see if we can get him here. There we go, sorry. I had to get... My recent players was not working, so I had to type in his gamer tag to get him an invite to this party, but make sure your audio is included there next. How's it going? Man, what an epic way to win the Daytona 500. Man, my heart was racing for you. How did you get it done in this awesome triple wide finish for the Daytona 500? It's got to feel pretty good. It feels amazing. I have not celebrated a win like that in a long, long time. I love Daytona. I love this place. It's my home track.
But I immediately want to go and say I couldn't have done it without the teamwork of my team with Max, my manufacturer teammates of Alpha, Cameron, DAYTONA. We worked together all race. We did what we could, and then when it came down in the end, a lot of us were up front. We tried to be respectful as much as possible with us, and I feel like that was a good, respectful finish for how chaotic the race was. But I'm so happy. This is one of the biggest wins of my career. One of the biggest. I don't know what to say right now. Holy.
Congratulations, man. It was an awesome finish to watch. All of you guys making it really a clean finish there down the back straightaway. Seen a little contact, but so far it was an awesome race.
Yeah.
Seeing you guys up front, you especially had a very good race. I seen you up front pretty much the entire thing, so yeah, congratulations to you, man. Winning one of the biggest races of your career, so hopefully you can keep it up. You're looking pretty strong at Daytona. I've seen you in other leagues do pretty good here, so it's not surprising to see you out front.
Oh my god, yeah. I love this place. I love super speedway racing. It's definitely hit or miss when it comes to the racing, but if you know how to do it, you can find yourself up front. I know you're a good super speedway racer. Frosty put up a hell of a fight. Probably one of the best in the business. I know Racer didn't show up for this race, but if he was here, I know I would have been battling him and a couple of other guys that, you know, we had a good field today. And I'm just glad I got the win, 'cause oh my god, my heart was racing there, and